So what is milli machine or milli FSM? A milli machine is an FSM whose output depend on the present static as well as the present input. In milli machine, every transition for a particular input symbol has a fixed output. So milli machine is defined as a sequential circuit whose output is function of both the present state and external input to the circuit. So it can be described by a six things, that is Q is finite state of states, summation is a finite set of symbol and called the input alphabet. The next is the finite set of symbol called output alphabet O. Delta is the input transition function where delta is. The next is the output transition function. Then Q0 is the initial state from where any input is processed. Now here the state diagram of the milli machine is given. The state diagram of milli machine has the output associated with the transition between the states. The output on transition, there is an output on transition because they are determined in the same way as in the next state. In milli machine, it is possible to represent both combinations using same state and compute a single bit directly from the input. Hence there are less state. In milli machine, outputs are computed from the present state and current inputs, and it will not be ready for some time after the start of the clock cycle. It is capable of generating many different patterns of output signal for the same state depending on the input present on the clock cycle. So here is a milli transition table given here, which consists of present state and next state. In next state, it is for a equal to 0 and for 1, state and output, state and output. Then the difference between the Moore and milli machine is that the output, which is the combinational signal process. In milli machine, the output signal of combination process should be the function of state vectors and all external outputs. So the clock process in milli and Moore machine is identical. Now before going to the Moore machine, we see what is state description and state diagram. The sequential circuit have the capability to retain the effect of all past input on present and future output. The memory elements retain the complete sequence of the input at a time t0 and able to determine the output at any time t greater than t0. So for simplification, the value of the input sequence can be grouped into a finite number of classes in such a way that all time functions having the same effect on the output at time t greater than equal to t0 and are included in the same class. So the determination of the output does not require the whole input sequence because Knowing the class of the function is enough to determine the output. The class is kept in an auxiliary variable s, which is called as a state. Since the number of classes are finite, such a systems are also called as finite state machine. Now the state description of the sequential circuit uses three time variables, the input, state and the output, and there are two state transition functions. That is the state transition function which produces next state at the time t plus 1 as a function of the present input xt and present state s of t, and the second output function which produces the present state zt as a function of the present input and present state. Now s of t is known as the present state and s of t plus 1 is called as next state. Now the transitions at the output functions are stored in state table. The state table consists of first listing of all possible binary combinations, that is given here, that is the first is all possible binary combinations of present state and input. Then the next state values are then determined from the logic diagram or from the state equation, and for each present state there are two possible next state and output depending on the value of the input. The information which is available in the state table can be represented graphically in a state diagram. As a combinational circuit can be described in a tabular format called truth table, similarly the behavior of the sequential circuit can be described in a tabular format called state table and can be represented graphically on state diagram. Now what is state diagram? The graphical representation of the state to state transition of sequential circuit is called as state diagram. So it illustrates the state of interest for you important and required pieces of information related to each state of the machine. So the state diagram means it is an array of bubbles. Here is the diagram, state diagram. It is state diagram. So state diagram is an array of bubbles connected by directed line segments with arrowheads. Each bubble represents a state of the machine and the line segment are graphical indication of state changes. The five important and descriptive pieces of the information for each state are given and labeled as some state identifying symbol or code. The first is previous state of the state of interest. The second is the input conditions leading to the state of interest. The third is the output specification for the state of interest. Then the next state and the next state branching conditions for the state of interest. So this is related to the state diagram and the state table. Next is Moore machine. So in Moore machine, the values of the output function is depend on the present state only, and it is described by 6 tuples. So here Q is finite non-empty set of state. Summation is set of input alphabet, delta is set of output alphabet, delta is transition function, lambda is output function, and Q0 is initial state. So here the Moore transition table is given. There is no concept of final state in the Moore machine, so we consider the output for each state. Here present state is given, next state is given, and the output is given. So Moore machine to Mealy machine. Here the input is Moore machine, output is Mealy machine. Step 1 is take a blank Mealy machine transition table format. Step 2, copy all Moore machine transition state into this table format. And step 3, check the present state and their corresponding output in the Moore machine state table. If for state Q output is M, then copy it into the output column of the Mealy machine state table where Q appears in the next state. Here one example is considered. So consider a Moore table. Here the present state is present states are A, B, C, D. Next states for A equal to 0 and equal to 1 are given, and outputs are according to that. Output can be find out. So step 1 and 2 is given here for the present state and next state, and this is third step for the present state and next state. Now Mealy to Moore machine. So input will be Mealy machine, output is Moore machine. The step 1 for this is calculate the number of different output for each state, that is Qi, that are available in the state table of the Mealy machine. And the step 2 is, if all the output of Qi are same, then copy state Qi. If it has a distinct output, then break Qi into n state as Qi, where n is 0, 1, 2. And step 3 is, if the output of the initial state is 1, then insert a new initial state at the beginning which gives 0 output. So here example is considered. So state A and D give only the 1 and 0 output respectively. So we can retain the state A and D, but the state B and C can produce a different output. Here the state table for this is given. So the Moore machine, the output signals, we have seen that the output signals are only dependent on the present state. For the Moore machine, the output signal are usually drawn inside the state bubbles. 27ला 2, 28ला 2, 27, 28, 28, 29, 29, 30, So next is the difference between the milli machine and Moore machine. So in milli machine output depend upon both present state and the present input. In Moore, output depends on the only upon the present state. In milli, generally it has a fewer state than the Moore machine, and in Moore it has a more state than milli machine. In milli, output changes at the clock edge. Here in Moore, the input change can cause change in the output change as soon as the logic is done. In milli machine, it reacts faster to input, and the Moore logic is needed to decode the output since it has more circuit delays. Then the next is the advantages. So the Moore machine are cheap and they are easy to use. Moore state machines are very fast. Milli machines are reactive, that is they have a low responsive time and they are fast. So these are the advantages of milli and Moore machine. Next, the disadvantages of milli and Moore machine. The milli state machines are expensive to produce. The number of state can become unmanageable. So these are the advantages. Then the use of milli and Moore state machines. The milli state machines are used in the processor due to their property of having many states. Then milli state machines are also used to provide a rudimentary mathematical model for cipher machines. The Moore state machine is used as a write enable in SRAM because of its speed. It is also used in SRAM because SRAM needs a level sensitive control, that is signal has to be asserted for an amount of time. Then the next is first in first out. So FIFO means first in first out. It is a structure which is used in hardware. So it is a structure which is used in hardware or software application when we need to buffer a data. In particular, we can implement FIFO structure using a memory buffer which is able to store the element plus a write pointer and a read pointer in order to write the data to current memory and the address and the read data from the memory address. The maximum number of elements that we can store inside the memory is FIFO depth. The FIFO architecture implementation, both hardware that is VHDL or Verilog or software is very similar. The every memory in which the data word that is written in first also comes out first when memory is read, and it is first in first out memory. Then the shift register that is FIFO with an invariable number of stored data word and thus the necessary synchronism between the read and the write operation, because a data word must be read every time one is written. Then the exclusive read write FIFO, here the variable number of stored data word and because of the internal structure the necessary synchronism between the read and the write operation. Then concurrent read write FIFO, it is with a variable number of stored data word and possible asynchronism between the read and write data operation. Then first in first out, that is it initializes the read and write pointer to the first element. The queue is empty. On write increment write pointer. If write almost catches read, queue is full, and on read increment read pointer. Then the next is metastability. So in digital engineering there is a constantly recurring problem of synchronizing two systems that work at different frequencies. The concurrent read-write FIFOs can also handle the data exchange between two systems of different frequencies. So internal synchronizing circuits are called for. This section is a brief introduction to the problem that are involved in synchronization. So synchronizing problem is an external signal with the lock clock generator. Normally it is solved by using a flip-flop, but this means violating the setup and hold a time stated in the data sheet for the device. As a result, the flip-flop can go into a metastable state. So metastability state is as a state exists between either valid to digital logic state through theoretically there are two stable states. A third state may exist practically. The third state is called as metastable state. Now, what are the causes of metastability? It occurs because of violation of the setup and hold time in flip-flop, clock skew resulting due to different path length of the clock signal, slower operating frequency of peripheral, and asynchronous or rapidly changing input. Now, how to reduce metastability? It can be reduced by using synchronizer, using fast flip-flop, by cascading flip-flopping synchronizers, and reducing sampling rate. Also, we can avoid the input with low dB by dt, avoiding asynchronous input and reducing clock skew. So with D-type flip-flop, the setup or the hold time must be maintained, and this means that for a short time before the clock age, that is setup time, and for the short time afterward, that is hold time, the label on the D flip-flop must not change to ensure that the function of the flip-flop is executed correctly. If these conditions are not maintained, flip-flop can become the metastable. In RS flip-flop, the metastable states are possible if the reset and set input changes from the active to inactive state at the same time. In both cases, the flip-flop adopts an unidentified and unstable or metastable state. No defined state can be ensured on the Q output. So flip-flop are subject to problem called metastability. Due to this metastability, the output data is corrupted and it will occur due to the setup and hold time violation. In metastable state, the flip-flop output will oscillate around the 0 and 1 and it will settle after some time to 0 or 1, and how much it takes to settle is depend upon the technology of the flip-flop. So basically there are two stage synchronizers. Adding second flip-flop reduces the chance of output going metastable stack. The output from the first flip-flop may go valid before the second flop is clocked. So adding it another flip-flop will reduce the probability that its output will unstable even more. So if asynchronous input reaches a stable condition, outside the setup interval, then it will be clocked through a latency of 2 clock cycle. Otherwise, flip-flop 1 may enter the metastability. If metastability is resolved in less than 1 clock cycle, the flip-flop 2 will have a stable input. However, the price paid is latency. So this is all about the metastability. So in the next lecture we will see fan in, fan out, skew, all these points. Thank you.